Hi and welcome to the Trading Bell. Now today we want to talk matters to do with housing and agriculture. And of course, one more thing, philanthropy as well, because today's guest has built businesses in both while championing youth empowerment through philanthropy. Welcome to the Trading Bell. Now, our guest, Jane Acilo, is the Managing Director of ABJA Estates and ABJA Farms and founder of the Jane Acilo Foundation, and her work in business and social impact has earned international recognition, including prestigious awards and an honorary doctorate. Jen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Should I say welcome to Kenya too?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent.
I got in this morning and I've gotten a very good welcome so far.
Good welcome so far. Thank you. I think for the sake of our viewers, when we talk about the entire ecosystem of ABJA, from the estates and what you're doing in the farms as well, anyway, on the philanthropy, could you help us just understand what ABJA really is in your own words?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a businesswoman, first and foremost, even though my background is in technology.
Okay.
I'm actually a systems analyst by profession.
Oh.
And I found myself going into the business side in real estate earlier on in my career, and that is what birthed ABJA Estates and also ABJA Farms. Real estate and agriculture are two very key things as human beings that we need.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you look at the basic needs of a human being, one of them is housing, shelter, and another one is food. So for me, as a business person, it makes sense to try and go into areas that are basic needs, because those, I see them as areas that will always have a demand. Because if you're going to get into business, you obviously have to have something that is demanded regularly. So that is what made me get into real estate and farming as well as a business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe someone would ask, could you tell us a little bit more in terms of scale, or where are you situated? If someone wants to, probably, investors are always the people who want to see first. Some people are like that. Could you just tell us where some of these projects are placed?
Yeah. So my projects are based mostly in Uganda. I am based in Uganda. I come from Uganda.
All right.
ABJA Estates, our head offices are in Kampala.
Okay.
And ABJA Farms, we have a 40-acre farm, commercial farm, that is in the northern part of Uganda, in a district called Oyam. So that is the geographical location of the two, although we run both offices in Kampala as well.
Lovely. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about East Africa, now that you're here in Kenya and we are Jumuiya, East Africa, So we face, when we look at what the governments are doing, there's a lot of housing work happening, especially even here in Kenya, and I'm sure even on the other sectors as well, housing is still on demand. And the other thing we have seen as well, definitely, is that deficit that exists on that part. And developers, most of them grapple with high construction costs. For example, we're also talking about expensive financing and the likes. My question to you is how is ABJA navigating these particular challenges, and can affordable housing truly be a profitable business?
This is a question we've been asking ourselves at ABJA Estates ever since we opened in 2018. The question about affordable housing. When you look at most of the population in Uganda, and I think the situation is also quite similar in Kenya, a lot of people can't afford most of the properties that are on the market. So solutions are needed that can offer these affordable housing to the common man. As ABJA Estates, we have a project that we have designed for low-cost housing, but it has taken us a number of years to find the right partnerships. The thing with real estate, it's a very capital-intensive kind of business. So without the right financing and the right partners, this becomes a challenge. One of the biggest costs that raises the cost of these housing solutions is the cost of the land, actually. It's interesting, for the case of an area like Kampala in Uganda, our property prices are one of the highest property rates worldwide, actually. We are trying to solve some of those challenges by finding partners that we can work with, that can come in and be able to help us to find these solutions for the common man. And then it now becomes a social kind of enterprise. So we also have to kind of switch the way we look at it. And when we made that switch, that is when we finally starting to see some results in what we were doing.
Let's talk about, partners who may come by or investors that you're looking forward to probably even having. If someone has some $10 million and they're just watching and saying, okay, that sounds interesting, what would you advise them to invest in? Is it in the housing, agriculture, or any other sector? And probably why?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Personally, if somebody had $10 million and they were looking to invest, I would say invest in agriculture.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Why do I say agriculture?
Yes,
agriculture truly is the future for Africa. It is where we have most of our resources, and the market is really, really untapped. There's a lot of potential for value addition, in which if somebody had $10 million and they invested in not just growing the crops or keeping the animals, but if they invested in industry, for example, to add value to these resources that we produce as Africa, that I believe would be a very good business.
You're right.
Yeah.
As a business person, I have also known several others who have hosted here who have actually gone across the borders and built businesses there. And I think Kenya and Uganda enjoy that friendship of, trade that is, the highest in the region in terms of the two partners. So I wanted to ask you, personally, you have built a lot in Uganda and while engaging investors across the region. What's the biggest opportunities between this relationship of Kenya-Uganda that you still see that exists? And maybe through that collaboration, what policy changes would probably even accelerate these cross-border investments and even jobs?
Some of the biggest opportunities I've seen are still in agriculture.
Okay.
When I compare my two businesses.
Yeah.
Kenya buys a lot of produce from Uganda to supplement its market. And in there lies a very big opportunity because some of the policies between our two countries limit quantities and how much we're able to do business with each other.
Yeah.
But if we were to open up as Kenya and Uganda and jointly invest in industry, in production at a larger scale, then this, I believe, is something that we can tap into as the two countries to create better synergies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking for investors to work with you?
I am looking for investors. I'm always looking for investors to work with me.
It's good to note that,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
When we look at real estate and agriculture, traditionally, when you look at them, they're male-dominated. I've seen a lot of guests here, and you look at that. Just wanted to ask you what barriers you had to overcome. As just one of the few ladies who is doing this in these particular sectors, and what has been your biggest business lesson so far, or even mistake that has shaped your leadership?
Wow.
It sounds like a book. Eh?
It's like a book. There's so many things and challenges that I have faced being in traditionally male-dominated industries. But one of the biggest things that I had to overcome was this imposter syndrome, I would call it, because sometimes you walk into a room, and especially in the beginning, and you get imposter syndrome. You're like, no, I don't belong in this room. There's 90% men. Why am I the only woman in this room?
Yeah.
But getting the experience over the years and earning the respect of my clients and starting to get repeat customers and repeat business also builds that confidence. So for me, I don't really look at it as a male-dominated industry, even when I got into it.
Yeah.
I got into it because it's something that I believed made sense business-wise, but also it's something that could impact the country and the community that I am from.
Okay.
So when you give it that human face and that human aspect, you also bring in a difference to how everybody else is doing it.
You're right.
Yeah, and people tend to gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
So that has helped me a lot.
From where I sit, you bring in a lot of wealth of experience in understanding the Ugandan landscape, the economic needs there, especially both in the housing and agriculture.
Yes.
But I want to be a little bit off from agriculture because we love bananas from your place. Already we know their food is almost like in plenty. But in the real estate, first of all, when I look at it, probably some investors would come to you and they really want to as well plug into the real estate systems there. Is that something that you're open to, so that at least you're able to help them and be able to show them what particular areas of infrastructure they can invest in?
Yes, actually, a lot of our clients that we have are from the diaspora. There's a big population of people in the diaspora right now that are trying to invest in real estate back home, and they don't know where to start. So that was a niche that we tapped into. And so we do work with a lot of people who have the interest but don't have the experience in Uganda, and we're able to help them achieve their goals, their real estate goals. Yeah.
In my introduction, I mentioned that apart from the real estate and agriculture, you're also into philanthropy and you have a foundation.
Yes.
I wanted to understand, what is it about and what are you doing in the foundation?
So my foundation is called the Acilo Foundation.
Yeah.
It is also based in Oyam district. That is the area where I come from. In case you're wondering why.
I am. I love that.
Yes. So the Acilo Foundation is a foundation that's mostly centered around education and health needs of the community. You learn in business that I think even from when I was talking earlier, you cannot always be profit minded.
Yes.
Giving back is also part of it, and corporate social responsibility is also a key part of doing business. But also in my dealings with the community, especially with the farmers around Oyam district, I realized that there was a big need for sensitization and for solutions that could help the common people. So this is what really motivated me to start a foundation. I was already dealing with the community at a large scale. Right now, as the foundation, we have registered over 20,000 farmers that we're working with. So it's quite a big community of 500,000 people. It's a big district, and the interest is there from them. They want to learn, they want to do things, but as an individual, I cannot obviously handle all the needs of the community alone. So when you have a vehicle like a foundation, you're able to tap into programs, whether government programs, whether programs from donors and funders, and then you are able to then bring it in a better way to the community. When we look at Africa, as we come to a close of the conversation, 60% of the population under 25. Yes.
Definitely, we are not left behind as a region as well. And we have seen even governments trying to crack their heads, how do we deal with this amazing, talented young population?
Yes.
And if they don't, they're always coming out and asking questions. But number two, there has been a push that the private sector is big time when it comes to help in creating opportunities and, doing what we can do. What are some of your wisdom running in the private sector, definitely, and as well understanding the public sector well enough? What are some of your wisdom in terms of tackling this demographic in a way and empowering them? So,
from my experience, I'm going to speak from my experience, of course, being in the private sector, you'll get, into your business, do what you're doing, and sometimes not even consider how it affects. In Oyam, for example, we have still over almost 70% below
25.
Yeah, 25.
Wow, that's a lot.
So it's a very big youth population. It's also an area where the poverty rate is at 75%. So you can imagine the vices that are within that community, within the youth. And as a private sector business person, part of my solution, obviously, was starting this foundation. However, we also cannot ignore that it is important for our voices to be heard as the private sector, but also work together with the government. And because the government has a lot of programs that are targeted at these communities, but they do not reach the communities. And yet, if we as the private sector workers partner with them, we are then able to bring these programs closer to the communities because we engage with them on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes it will help to solve that gap and that bottleneck that sometimes comes up with the government programs.
Okay. You know what, Jane? Some international investors still view Africa as a high-risk destination. And I'm sure you've met some who will question as many things as possible and sometimes even go to data that probably is not accurate and the likes. I don't know what, from your experience, where that perception, whether it's changing. I don't know, from the people that you're speaking about too, and what would you say to someone considering investing in East Africa today?
An international investor?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I would say that we as Africans need to have our own solutions for Africa before going to international investors. As an international investor, they would find Africa a high risk because our systems are not as organized as they are per se in the West. But for us that live within Africa, we know our systems, we know how they work, we know the solutions that work for us. So I just would want people to change the conversation a bit. And let's have the solutions for Africa from within Africa. I'll give an example. In Uganda, right now there's a big gap in the NGO sector because USAID withdrew most of its funding from Uganda. So now it's putting a spotlight on Ugandan-owned foundations like mine to come up with solutions that benefit the people. And I believe that when we continue with this line of thinking and are able to create our own solutions for Africa by Africans, then that is a better way to approach it.
All right. I think my final question is about ABJA. And its entire investments both in estates and farms and even on the foundation. What's the future like for you?
I mean, the future is bright for ABJA.
So what do you want to see in the next 5-10 years?
I want to see ABJA all across Africa. Not just in Uganda. I want to see it in Kenya. I want to see it in West Africa, in Southern Africa. I want to see my produce from the farm also
coming here, right?
Coming here
on the table,
from farm to table. Not just in Uganda, but I also want to tap into industry. And not stop at producing fresh produce and selling it at minimal price, because this is also business at the end of the day. So I see that the future is very bright for ABJA. And because this conversation will be put out for people to as well view it, I know behind the scenes we had mentioned that you're actually looking to rebrand. So the next time they don't go to just search ABJA for the rebrand, what would be the new name? Are you allowed to disclose? Not yet.
Not yet, So they should wait and see. All right.
We're doing a big rebrand and ABJA is going Africa.
Excellent. I love that. ABJA is going Africa. Jane Acilo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too. Thank you, Vavan.
All right. There you have it. That's Jane Acilo, the Managing Director, ABJA Real Estate, ABJA Firms, and also the founder of Jane Acilo Foundation. Very optimistic as a woman leader as well, saying, I know Africa got what it takes in terms of investments, in terms of building the young people, and even empowering ourselves. Thank you so much for your time, Olivia, with the markets.